All right, all you devils out there, Sam here. Well, I'm coming to you now at 3:10 on Friday afternoon. This is the second version of this video I have recorded today. Members will be aware of that. You on YouTube will not, because I am re-recording here because I had a rule break. In the first one, I think it is a completely random, stupid bullshit rule. You can tell I'm pissed, but mainly because I'm pissed at myself because I didn't catch it. And two, I do think it's a fucking stupid rule. But what I didn't do was address the fact that I was breaking the rule. And so in the interest of being consistent and conveying rules and guidelines here, if I'm going to break a rule, I need to communicate it, right? So let's talk about the section here, why I think it's bullshit, and then we'll get into the TA here, and I'll let you make your own determination. So I am still in the triangle camp that this can still very much complete a triangle here. Now, to do it, we have to do one of two things. If we're going to complete the triangle, this has to be a series of threes. So this has to go as a 3. Right? So as a result of the price action that we have here, it's a question of how you get there. Now, you cannot get there cleanly as it is now without either modifying to accommodate a rule or putting a swing pattern here that is a rule break according to Prechter. All right, let's talk about it. Okay, so for this to go up here and complete this, what we're looking for now, right? So if it's going to stay as a 3, given the price structure we have, we would be looking for it to do it as a zigzag, right? So we might get a 5, 3, 5. Well, okay, right? So in the first video here, and I'll show you the mistake I made. There are the ingredients here for a textbook flat. It requires a little bit of gymnastics here to turn what would appear to be a 5 into a 3. But according to the hard rule set, not from Ralph Nelson Elliott, from Robert Prechter, we can't have a flat in the triangle. Now, I don't understand the reasoning there. I don't really care, actually, because let's make the distinction between a trader and an analyst. I am always a trader first, an analyst second. But I'm also an educator in this current role. So I need to be consistent in teaching the actual rules and then being clear, right? I'm quick to tell you I'm not a purist, but if you're going to break a rule, know you're breaking it. So the end result here is, if this is going to stay as a triangle, we have to go to an abnormal formation, which is, again, why I think this is bullshit. Can you tell I'm pissed? All right, so anyway, I'm not pissed at anyone. I just find sometimes these rules to be annoying. Okay, for the most part, they will guide you well, but this is a dumb motherfucking rule. All right. Let me calm down here and get into it. Okay, so as we sit out here, we can still play the triangle, right? If there are those that think the triangle is blown out, right? It takes 2 to make a market, right? So I am not in that camp. I think we still have, as a matter of fact, I think the odds got better. I think this is more probable now. Now, can we get a 3 here and then go? We'll see. I certainly like it. Well, yeah. All right, this remains my primary, right? For what that's worth, that's my primary. Let's go down here. Now let me go over to this side here. I've got these two connected here where I can't, if this is on daily, this goes to daily, but I want to get over to an hourly here. All right, let me get some of this off here. Let's hide that, because that was something I wanted to show you. All right, so let's get this off here. All right, so here's the current swing structure here. Okay, so we got maybe let's see if I pull back out here. Oh, get the entire picture here. Okay, so if indeed this is going to play as an A, and we can get here a couple of different ways, right? We can get here via WXY, which is what I think. We can get here through an expanded B wave into a 5. It could be here, could be. There's a number of different ways that you can get this into an A wave. It almost doesn't matter here, because based on what's followed it, I think it's somewhat irrelevant, right? Whether you're getting here, it doesn't matter how you get here, right? If you're putting the A here, which I think is not unreasonable, once again, right? I think we're past the point where we have to wonder if that's a 3, right? Given the fact that we can see what's come off of it. I'm of the camp that this is a cleaner count as a 3 here. My view, right? I think I want to complete something here. Let me see. Let me get my mind back on track here. All right, I think this finishes better as one complete unit, and that as we move away from it, we've entered into a different price structure here. So I don't think this relates to this. That's my view, right? That's, again, a lot of years of doing this. I want to connect them and finish them in one channel if I can. Think about the channel on that, right? I want to connect that here. When we break outside of it, now something else is happening. All right, so my view here, this completes, right? You can get here a number of different ways. 1, 2, there are a number of different ways you could get there. But at this, my view, that completes something here, right? We got to call it something. It's either an A or a 1. 3 into the B. We looked at this. We know this is a golden zone here. We looked at this last week repeatedly. We know that's the golden zone from this pivot here, which explains why we can't get any higher. Then we come down. So we come down, and there's a pretty good 5 in there. This is the B. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. It gets a little skinny, but you can get her done, right? 1, 2, 3. We get the extension in the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a C here. So the A, B, C completes. Now, what do we get coming off of it? All right, that's the whole question. Well, and where I'm running into a rule that I think is just stupid. Okay, so let's zoom in there a little bit. I don't often call rules stupid, but this is one. Okay, so come here. All right, if this is an A, right? I mean, this section here can be looked at, can be solved a couple of different ways. But I do think that the zigzag in here is so clear that that looks like it's corrective. So I like the A, the B, and then I can finish into the C. It gets to, I think we looked at this last week. It's a little bit of a squeeze here because of this wick to get her done, but you can actually get a diag in there to finish. It's the coming off of it here. Now, I went through this in the last video, so members, if you're getting this twice, I don't know if anyone would watch it twice, but for YouTube subs, you'll see here the issue here that I'm correcting. So if it comes off of this, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can get a a diag here, a contracting diag into that A wave here. It's not what I would have chosen, right? I mean, ideally, you wouldn't get that there, but it's the best solution here to give me that 5 right in here. So I'm coming into a 5. It's either a 1 or an A. Well, since I just did a 1, 2, 3 here, well, I got to choose, right? At some point, context is what we're looking for. If this is, we completed the 5 down here of the A, B, if we completed the 3 down here of the C, so we went A, B, C, that's the C of the triangle. Now, we're looking for the D, let's get these off of here. We're looking for the D of the triangle. If that's the C, oh shit, here, let's get this one. This one, yeah, that's right. Okay, if this is the C, we're looking to get up in a 3 to at least the 50, right? If we can get golden zone, all the better. Right, now how can we get there? Well, here's the key to the entire thing. If, right, this is all about interpretation. If that's a 3, and then this is a 3 here, which is takes some Elliott gymnastics to get that to work, but I think that can be validly turned into a 3. So the bigger question is, which one's the 3? Right? Is this the 3? Is this the 3? Because it's very easy to look at this one as a 5, right? So here, if I open this up, right, it's just one compromise after the next. So it's often, right, the market will force you to do that, right? So it's not like this is not something we as Elliotticians wrestle with, but this is one that I'm going to be very curious to see how this finishes. So if we look here, right, so if you're assuming this is a 3, well, it would have been very easy to think, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We're done. Get off of there. 3, 5. Oh, Are we done? Well, that wouldn't make sense in the broader here. I got to go back to something bigger so you can see it. That wouldn't make sense here, right? We're still through the ABC. How are we going to be done here? Well, I mean, I'm going to apply some Elliott rules here, or at least structure. How are we going to get done here? You're not getting done there. You're not going 3, 5, and you're done. So what are the alternatives? Well, it's a question of how are you interpreting this? So I know we got to get back in there. Let me go back to that 60. All right, so here's the solution that I find to be valid, although apparently Bob Prechter doesn't. Okay, A, B, C. Now, so I'm calling this a 3. My team of Elliott Wizards that caught me on this, one a member and one of my senseis, who I went to fuming, saying, "Are you fucking kidding?" That's probably more than you need to know. Anyway, so I go to these guys and I say to them, "What are you telling me that if I go 3 and I go into a 3 here and that finishes at a 5, that's not legit?" Well, legit, right? Who fucking cares, right? So if it goes there and it creates a trading opportunity, do we care? Do we really care, right? I mean, I suppose as a student, it's important that you know the rules before you break them. So what's the solution there, right? So if this cannot be a 3 and it cannot, we can't, or pardon me, if I can't go 3, 3 and get a 5th here, right, which is because that's what I'm looking for in the triangle, right? If you're in the triangle camp, that's what we're looking for. We have to do it as a 3. Well, if I can't go 3, 3, 5, how can I do it? Well, this is the area of Elliott that is frustrating, right? It's frustrating to me as a trader. It's a little frustrating to me as an educator, but here's the reality. If you're going to bend to that rule set, what that means is that you're going to have to truncate the 5th here. Right, this is the solution presented to me, which my opinion. So you'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and truncate the 5. Right. So my view is truncation is more often than not. Truncation is a lack of skill. Right. You can't solve it without it. Right. But so I gotta be careful there. It's let me say it this way. Truncation is the last resort. If there's no other possible solution, then a truncation is where you end up. And there are times where you have to truncate, right? It's just reality. There's a little slight truncation in here, in that 5th, right here in the 3, 4, 5, to try and get that A to complete. There's a slight truncation there. And it's usually when there's wick. Like, we have some good examples here, where you'll get just straight wick. Right, but the body will stay consistent with structure. But when you've got that wick to deal with here, as we come off of this now, so the implication would be that I'm going to have to turn this into a 5 and call it a truncation. That's not a wick truncation. I personally don't like doing that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to call that a 5. Right? Makes a market. Right? So I mean that. Those who disagree with me here, right? Let me say, if you're calling, well, right, it's what makes a market. So in terms, this ultimately will have impact based on what comes off of this. Okay, so if we're going to call this the truncation, then this turns into just a big A, B, C. Right, so there is no good solution here from the Elliott perspective. Either you truncate, and I think that's a bullshit truncation. Either you truncate here, or you put yourself into a flat, which would be A, B, C, A, B, C, and then you'd be looking for an impulse to come off of that, a 5. I suppose it could be. Well, you'd be looking for an impulse, right, to get us up to at least the 50. Ideally, you'd get up to the golden zone. So so whatever's happening here, if this is an impulse that's starting, we're looking for a 1. So what we're looking for, 1, 2, 3, let me keep 3, 4, 5 is what we're trying to get. Here, hang on. There's my target up here. 4, 5. That's what I'm trying to get to. Now, if I can get a bigger 3, and the 4, and I can get a little further, that's what I'm hopeful to get here to give me what I'm looking for, right? Which is the opportunity to either long into this, right? It actually doesn't matter here. If this is going to go impulse, whether you're calling this a truncation into a 3 or whether you're going to go with a flat formation here, which I intend to do, I'm going to go 3. If I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, does it matter? Does it matter? Right? I'm still looking for an impulse here. Can you tell I'm a little pissed about this? I shouldn't be. I don't know why. I am, right? I don't. It doesn't really bother me to do it again, but I'm pissed at myself. 1, 2, 3. Although I still. See, now this was the trickier part, and I think for an Elliottician, this is the more challenging, is how can you get this to solve as a 3? A, B, right? Because you're dying to make it a 5. So so this is how I did it. I went A, and I can go this. So I think the diag here is good. No, there's the little truncation. And you got to go 1, 2, 3 into the B. Again, I think this plays much better as a 3 than as a 5. Well, okay, so think about it. Look right here. So here's a clear 5, here's a 3, here's a 5. So we got to turn this into a truncation? How the fuck are you going to do this? I suppose you'd have to do it. All right, so maybe this is too much internal Elliott dialogue for those of you that are learning and looking for ideas. But all right, so there's a 5, there's a 3, there's a 5. So if I do it here, right, so you'd have to do it there. Boy, that's so you're truncating the 5th of the. I don't like it. I don't like it, so I'm not going to trade it that way. But if you're at the point where your focal point is to learn and master rule set here before you can go about breaking them, I'm a trader first, right? I'm an analyst second. So to me, it doesn't fucking matter. But again, as an educator here, let's be sure that you know that is a rule break. And if you're going to break it, you got to break it knowingly, not oblivious to it. So that's the reason I'm re-recording here, so that you know that technically we can't call this a 3, 3, and then be looking for a 5. We have to go 5, 3, 5. So in order to do that, you got to truncate here. All right, so made my point there. Let's go just quickly look here, because this I think is some good Elliott here. No matter, even if you thought if you truncated here and this is the miss, it plays pretty well. You can get down here. So I did it as 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 3. I thought the much more challenging bit was here, where you had to get there through the expanded B to get into a 4. So you go A, then A, B, C through the diag. I can get 5 here to give me the A, B, C. So I get an expanded flat, 3, 3, 5. Right, into the flat, and then I come down and I finish with the 5 here. Right, so I get a much better finish in this, doing it this way, my opinion. Now coming off of it here, it looks like you've actually got 1, 2. Oh, look, because this looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Like maybe we finished there. Let's see here. So if this, we might have finished there. Let's just take this down a degree. Could we, right? So then you'd have a double top, right? Which is, this might even be a slight truncation. No, it's a true double top, right? So we've got a true double. It could be. There's another leg in that, right? So this could be 1, 2, and we're going to go a little further into that, and the 3 still seeking the top there, because there's a 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this plays as a nice WXY 3, 3, 3. We get a WXY here, and then I get 5 coming off of that. I got to go down to a 15 to show it to you. Oh, so right here would be the Y, right? So 3, 3, 3. We get a WXY. So it's 1, 2. Oh, we have to do it this way. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now, is that the 3? And this is the ABC. Could this be the 4? Right before we go up? Kind of looks that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We completed here. This should probably go down a degree. These complete. Here's the 3. There's the 4 candidate, right? We don't know for sure, but it looks like that's where we're headed. Right? So there's one more push up here. That's actually good news to this count, right? If you're looking for, we want this one wave here. If it's going to be a one wave, we want this to go a little further, right? It increases the range that we're looking for. So if I want a zigzag or a standard measured move, length of A projected from B equals C, if I want to get that up to the golden zone, which is where I'd like to see it get to lean more into the triangle, as that's the highest probability location for the D in the triangle. Well, if this is going to be my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? I got a long way to go, right? I'm looking to get up to 55, right? Where are we now? 39. Or I got a lot of legs to get going here. All of this structure has to break if that's going to get there. Now, of course, let's be mindful of the fact this thing could roll over and we're back down here. And the whole conversation I'm having here is just completely irrelevant because the triangle blows up and this whole thing gets relabeled. And it could very well be that the AB turns into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're just going to do an ABC here before we go lower. I mean, the most obvious count here is this, right? This is the one that's hard to, right? You're having to work around what's staring you in the face, right? But again, in order to accommodate structure here and rule set and guidelines, I'm willing to do it here, but I think the other one is just stupid. Okay, so we're looking for an impulse to complete, and we got a minimum target 51, ideally 55. All right. Did I cover everything here? Oh, I had a nice little lesson in there, but we'll get on the first version here. I'll hit that next week. Just a good, it's a little tidbit. What am I doing on time? 21. Is there anything else here I want to go over here? I guess not. Well, the first one was longer, but I was rambling about all sorts of shit. Okay, guys. Well, here it is. So here's the. It pisses me off to have to do that. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this and truncate that right there. Right? That's what a purist is telling me I have to do. Well, I'm not a purist. I'm a trader. Right? So I will not be doing that. I stick with this count here. Now, this will be very interesting, those of you that watch regularly or members, right? To see how this resolves. I could have mud on my face all day long. I sure did yesterday. I mean, listen, guys, I'm wrong all the time, right? So everybody is. So let's be real, right? So to have an anticipation here that you're going to be right all the time or that you're not going to get stopped out. I could not have been any more wrong yesterday. I was absolutely sure that the move up was a liquidity grab before it went down. So as the market opened yesterday, right, as those of you in the day trading room know this, right, as the market was rallying, I was looking for opportunities to sell, saying we're going up, it's a grab for liquidity, we're heading down. Could I have been any more wrong? And I still thought it coming in today. I thought, okay, well, they're going to get it into on a Friday. So we're going to go into Friday with the uncertainty and the geopolitical circumstance. Are we going into Friday at the high? We closed. I'm looking here. We closed on the high. We're just astonishing, really. I mean, the lesson here, and I discussed this in the first video here. Those of you on YouTube won't see that, but members will hear this. I'm repeating myself here, but the lesson, not just to me, someone who's been doing this for 30 years, but additionally to all of us, right? The moment you think you know where the market's going, the market has an incredible capacity to adjust that for you. As in, it will rip your face off if you approach the market ever thinking you know where it's going to go. That's a bad way to approach the market. And after 30 years of doing it, I did it yesterday. Pretty fucking sure of myself, too. And boy, did I get stopped out all the way. Right? And I got stopped out again today trying to play on the short side. I mean, I ended up net positive, but most of the day, it's because I was scalping. Most of the day, I was looking for something bigger to come down. I'm wrong as hell. Wrong as hell. I'm just astonished by by the move off the low. Now, we haven't had something like that since the COVID low where the Fed was doing it. Now it's apparently, as it's rationalized and the talking heads on all the financial channels talk about it. I'm sure you see the same couple of channels that I see. Oh, well, now the Fed doesn't have to do as much. And so there's always a way to talk yourself into it. My view is likely what happened is more algo driven. So we hit, technically the NASDAQ hit correction territory and the algo is just launched. That would be my hunch. My broader point is don't ever approach the market thinking you know where it's going. That's a dangerous mindset. And I was reminded of that yesterday. So as is often what I'm doing is sharing my experiences with you guys so you don't repeat the mistakes that I make. Well, that was a pretty big one yesterday. Now, it was not financially disastrous, but, a losing day. Losing day is a losing day. All right, I think we covered everything here. I've got some new content I'm working on for you guys next week here, just some simplified approaches here, but I wanted to come back here and correct this, right? I'm sure there's blue, purple, brown belts here would have caught that as well because we drill that in. All right, I get things wrong. I try not to, but occasionally I do. I get corrected by solid Elliottians on YouTube. I get corrected by members. I get corrected by my senseis. It's going to happen. It's just, I'm human. But, right, there's a difference, right? Trader first, analyst second. If I make a mistake as an analyst, I can live with that. If I make a mistake as a trader, that pains me, as it did yesterday. All right, guys. Well, I hope you got something out of this here and my little rant. I don't know if that's too much information or you give a shit. But my point being here, let's know the rules before we break them. I find that to be a ridiculous rule, so I intend to break it regularly. Okay, guys. I'll talk to you later. Have a good weekend. We'll be back on Monday, Tuesday for live streams, Wednesday with my partner with his approach. And then I'll be back next Friday. I can't wait to get to next Friday to see how this plays out. Okay, guys, have a good weekend. Talk to you later.